Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and I have a goal. My goal is to use 10 monoprop out of the 80 I'm supposed to have to land this guy on this thing, or I'm giving up on this and I'm going to launch a new one. I've actually already designed the new one, and then I decided to try this. And I'm going to try something slightly different here. I'm going to control from here. This is going to be kind of critical to this whole procedure. So I can see which direction I'm going. I'm also going to go into locked mode so that I know exactly which way is up. And I'm going to set this thing perfectly behind myself. And I'm not going to touch the mouse now until I'm landed. That's the goal. So I'm going to bring up the thrust. If I remember correctly, I need about a third. Oh, I'm also going to turn on SAS. Yes, I am now lifting. So I want to go down just a little bit so I'm not lifting up very much. Then I'm going to turn on RCS. I'm going to go this way and this way. And then I'm going to turn RCS back off. I've already used up about half of an RCS piece. I'm watching my vertical up on the top there. See, I'm 10 meters up, and now I'm 9. So I want to increase my throttle just a little bit. And it looks like maybe a little bit more. Although I haven't yet. No, I am going up again now. And what I'm doing here is I want to get hovered over here. Now, I don't know exactly how high I have to be to do this. I'm down to 8 monoprops. I think I have plenty of monoprop to get this done. I'm now 10 meters off the ground. I'm just turning monoprop on, doing what I need to do, and then turning monoprop back off. That's all I'm doing here. And we're going back down, so I'm going to hit the gas just a little bit so we don't go off. Now I'm going to see on the nav HUD, I am going to see, I just brought the throttle back down. I'm going to see the docking port come under me here in a second. It's going to slide in from the side here. And no, I'm not, because I just realized I had never set this thing as a target. And we landed on it anyway. I'm going to leave the... Oh, never mind. I was going to leave the engine on in order to keep myself from falling over or anything, but it doesn't matter. I just landed on it. And I got 16.12 monoprops. Now, well, the problem here is when the sun sets, which I think it's doing right now. Is this the sunset? Yeah. Because that's north, so this is west. When the sun sets, this guy's going to block these solar panels. There's also other problems with these solar panels. In particular, when the sun is directly above, these ones can't rotate themselves to be in it, and this top one blocks these two bottom ones. So he actually loses a lot of sunlight during the noonday time. So a future thing for this guy would be to bring out something to connect to here that has more solar panels on it that are flush with the ground. Or even potentially, I'm thinking about bringing up something that I can detach this and slide it out and put something in between that has all the solar panels on it. So he's landing even farther away from the base. But for now, I did it. Ha ha ha. Everybody out there probably thought that it was impossible. I shared your thoughts, but I managed to do it anyway. But now that we have this, I'm not going to show you anything else. You've seen me land here. You've seen me muck around in orbit. All you need to know is I'm going to be using this guy to go up into orbit and fill up that space station. Sorry about the cat. She's freaking out for no reason outside. I've locked her out of the room because she was freaking out in here. But I'm going to fill up the space station up there, and then I'm going to start working on my Eve base, or my Eve mission to go to Gilly. You'll notice that the Gilly scanner is going to get to Eve before, like, long before we ever have to do that. So that's actually next up. Also, the Duna to Eve window is coming up, and I actually wanted to send the scanner that was at Duna to Eve. That's what that window is there. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're gonna get a probe to Gilly. And then we're going to also launch the probe from Duna. And all this here, filling up the base and everything, that's all going to happen off camera because that's busy work and I don't want you to have to watch that. Okay, and as things work out, I did the mid-course correction on my own because it was boring and there's no reason for you to watch it. However, I'm going to eject this guy next orbit here. I'm going to eject him from Ike, and this guy's whole purpose, and see, this is terrible. I actually waited too long. I want him to be around here, so maybe I'll just eject him from Ike this away. Actually, looks more like this away. And this tells me that we have a terrible timing here of our ejection. So I think the transfer calculator lied to me. That'll get us there. And this is just, yeah, these are too expensive. He doesn't have the fuel to do this, so we're not going to bother. That makes it easy. So we will ignore the pinpoint scanner. We're going to leave him at Duna. Maybe he'll eject to Jewel when the time comes. So we don't care about our Duna to Eve window. And let's go ahead and actually take care of the ghillie scanner like I thought we would. He is 45 days away from his encounter here. So let's go ahead and check him out. Oh, and part of all the updating is that all these things are in Earth time. And I need to change them to not Earth time, but I never remember in the engineer how to do that because there's no like edit me button here or something. There's no options button that I see anywhere. So I have to remember to figure out how to do that. We are in Eve's sphere of influence. Even if we wouldn't die from this, or even if we wouldn't burn up, we would die from crashing into the surface. So obviously we need to fix that. So let's go ahead and burn ourselves a little bit away from the surface of Eve. Now Eve's atmosphere is 90 kilometers. There's 78. Let's see what the trajectories mod says about that. That actually says we'll capture. I by no means believe it. But if let's go into not body fixed mode. I by no means believe that will actually capture us because of the way everything works. However, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt just because I think that even this is too low to burn us up. So let's burn out a little bit farther. And let's assume that'll do it. Let's assume that 82 meters off the surface will keep us from burning up. So now we want to time warp until we are just above. Let's see, where are we coming in here? We're coming in this way. We want to time warp to just above Eve's atmosphere. So right around here. And this is going to be we're not going to be what's the word? Saving or anything like that. And of course, it jumped in. Let me backspace to close these. No. Retract panels. Retract panels. See, we're already hitting burn up here. Let's turn off the computer so we save as much battery power as possible. People were right. Lots of explosions. I think we lost both solar panels. Yeah, we lost both solar panels. So this guy is now officially dead. And it looks like this was possibly the only... we could have gone a little bit higher, I suppose. But we've already got a heat warning here. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the probe core was actually heating up. Yeah, that's nuts. That's pretty nuts. But this guy's dead. This guy has no way to generate power, and he has no use except, of course, the very important use of completing a contract. Fly by Eve. We did that, and plant a flag on Venus. Oh yeah. I did that off camera what What's his face? You know, what's his face? Let's see, we're already out. Let's see, temperature's going down. We might as well follow this all the way around. Why not? Yeah, I assume he's out of power now as well. Yeah, he's completely out of power. He serves no purpose other than to see what Eve's atmosphere does to this thing. And we're already back out of it. Looks like next time he's going to, we're going to lose the core. Then we have to decide which piece we're going to follow. Probably the piece with the engine. Engines have the highest tolerance for dying. Oh. How cool would it be if we ended up not burning up in the atmosphere and landing? Although we're already back above. But he got no heating that entire time there, which interests me greatly. Science. Okay, we're just about 4 kilometers a second. Oh, we're seeing heating now. Our apoapsis is still above the atmosphere. Okay, more heating. Apoapsis really coming down. The heating is not as terrible as I expected it would be, though. But it's also not cooling down to 0 or anywhere near it in between, so it's actually building up heat every pass. I'm wondering if this is going to be our last pass. If this isn't our last pass, the next one definitely will be, and I think this is going to be our last pass. Because our apoapsis is now under 100, it's now under the atmosphere, and yeah, we are coming down this time. Our probe core is still heating up, but I think this super the super shallow arc here that we're actually going up in the atmosphere, I think this is helping not destroy the probe, although I don't think it's going to survive. Yeah, this is it. End of the line. Now my only question is, will anything survive to the ground? Nothing will survive contact with the ground, I'm sure. But will anything actually survive to the ground? And how close is this probe core going to get to surviving? It's going to blow up any second here. But the temperature is not going up. It's going back down. Oh my god, the probe core is going to survive. That's awesome. And the worst part is he has fuel. If he had a solar panel, we could land this thing on Eve. There's still a chance that something will survive. We are coming down on the ground. If anything survives, we're going to get the landed on Eve contract, which will be awesome. We obviously won't get the return anything from Eve contract, but we are slowing down. Our atmospheric efficiency is basically 100%, which is what you expect. We're coming down at 80 meters per second. We're slowing down significantly quickly. If we're under 50 when we hit the ground, we have a chance here. And then we have a target of a place to land, which is kind of cool. Because this looks actually like a really good place to land. There's mountains over there. There's lake over here. Well, ocean. We might be going under 50 when we hit the ground. Oh, and one thing I definitely want to do is go down to regular speed here, now that we're 2,000 meters off the ground. Let's assume this thing has a camera with its own battery. Okay, we're under 50 meters per second. I honestly believe that this thing has a significant chance of surviving, at least part of it. The engine, the fuel tank, probably the probe core are going to be gone. Maybe the battery will survive. Who knows? Oh yeah, Successful touchdown on the surface of Eve. Look at that. We got a bunch of money. We got some science. Land on Eve. That is not something I expected to happen this episode. Okay, well, boom, destroy that. That's awesome. I think I'm going to end it right here. Sorry if this is a short episode. It's probably almost going to definitely be. But, hey, we landed on Eve. Next episode, I'm going to have my Eve ship actually ready to go. And this is going to be the full thing. It probably won't have a lander, but it'll have the full base and full on science. And it'll also bring 2 probes, one with this scanner on it and one with the pinpoint scanner on it for Gilly. And we'll finally have new Kerbonauts launching too, which is going to be exciting. I hope you're all looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it. I'm HMV, and I will, as always, talk at you later.